All right. Oh, geez. Hold on. Test, test, test. Okay. I think everything's working. Just give me a few seconds to move things around and make sure my stream's up. Just so you know. Starting a stream, getting ready in only like 5 minutes. Class. I think because last stream, I actually got ready, had everything prepared. Everything was good. That means this stream, I had to, you know, make things a little worse. I pretty much got everything set up, like the microphone. The music should be playing. Let me double check. I don't even have my head. Yeah. Everything should be working. Just let me take my shoes and belt off. Whoop. Probably better. About taking my boots off. Ooh. Here. Nice. Realize camera. All right. Woo. A little closer. That way I can lean back more. Oh, don't knock that over. Okay. Oh God, my desk is a mess. Oh, everything all over the place. Yeah, I just let things pile up because I'm in the middle of working on commission, and I'm trying to get that done before tomorrow. So after this stream, I'll get right back on that. It's almost done. I just need like the final touches. Let me get my ears on. Try to straighten the cord. We're not doing too bad just yet. Just give me a second to get acclimated. Blah. Hi. I think everything's pretty much set up. Just give me a second to, I think, just play with the camera for a bit, and then I'll be set up. Completely. Alright, let's pick up the duration. Play with the white balance. Little bit of blue, little bit of orange. Oh, my glasses are a mess. I can see them, how dirty they are on the camera. I wonder how long I've been walking with just dirty glass. No one said anything while I was at the coffee shop, so I think here we go. Although I guess being like, hey, your glasses are filthy is a little bit much to ask. I don't think anybody would do that at a coffee shop. Turn down the brightness. Move the camera a bit. Center me a little bit more. It's all about me. Come on. I think we're good. Maybe a little bit of zoom. I said a little zoom, not too much. I think that's good. As long as I don't move around like too crazy. Which I usually don't. As far as I can tell. As far as I can remember. Get a sip of coffee. Try to move it over without toppling it over. All right. That's enough setup. No, exactly 5 minutes. Okay, that's good. 5 minutes to set up is bad. It's nicer when I don't have to do any setup, but not like I'm a professional. Yeah, I've been thinking really hard recently about, okay, maybe not thinking really hard, but considering a lot more than I normally do, which is not at all, about actually getting some of the shop, I guess, things done, actually like selling some of my art, and then, or at least just having the online shop there, and then also tweaking my commission rates. I mean, I think that one's probably the easiest one and the one I'll do first, because I do think my prices are just a little expensive. It's hard because great artists, like literally some of my favorite artists, charge like $40 for a piece of art, and I'm just like, how? Like, you guys are so insanely talented, and you're selling it for like $40. Like, I don't know. That's insane. Because I mean, like, $20 is like the cheapest I feel like I can go and still want to work. But like $40 for like fully finished character commissions, where, you know, like the polishes, you know, like I don't understand how they're able to like justify. Like, how can they do it? How can they do it? But I mean, I've gotten like maybe 2 commissions. Hey there, nice to see you. Just talking a bit because it took me a little while to get started, but I'm here now. But yeah, I haven't gotten like a ton of commissions from with my rates down below, so I think maybe it's just a little too pricey, because I've gotten like people to notice me, but I haven't gotten people to like, you know, they haven't really taken a look at the commission sheet. So I think just going, I don't know, like 20% lower, like a third or something like that. Well, because I think mostly people are looking for like $40 commissions or like 60, and I think mine's to go up to like 80 or 90, and that's probably a bit too much. But I'll work on that in the background. We'll probably see the commissions change around. The thing is, like, I'm a little embarrassed because, like, I don't want people to be like, oh, I noticed that your commission rates fell down. Yeah, and $59.99. Yeah, that sounds reasonable for like a really like big piece. But yeah, I think I make up things in my head where people are gonna like notice it. I feel like no one's gonna notice it at all. But in my head, I'm like, oh, people are gonna talk about like, oh, I couldn't make it at my prices. I had to go down. That's embarrassing. But that's literally in my head. I don't think anybody actually is saying that. It's just what's the word? Self-doubt. Those little demons in your head. Anybody have those demons? We all have those demons. Anyways, I'm really terrible. I have not gotten any artwork done this week, so I did not post anything to my Instagram. I literally have like my notebook out on my desk when I'm working, and I will be like, look at it like a blank canvas and just be like, let's go read some D&D books instead. Even though I don't have D&D until like 2 months from now. But like, I already have all the notes done because I just can't stop looking at it and doing more work on D&D than art. But that's enough. I'll get to it. This is, I don't know what it is. I think as soon as it hit December of last year, I really got bad at actually like doing work. Which is unfortunate, because usually like everybody gets like that energy at like the New Year's, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna do all this stuff this New Year's, I'm gonna get everything prepared. And this New Year's I didn't make any plans, and I think that might have a little bit to do with it, where it's like I just like, it was just a normal day for me, so I didn't even think about like, oh, what could I do better this year. I just kind of fell into it. I got into like the holiday mood where I took everything very easy and never got out of it. All right, that's that. Let's go ahead and get started. Right now I am going to be cleaning up the lines. I'm thinking of going for a more painted style than I normally do. Maybe like maybe even like avoiding lines at all. But we'll see. I think I still need to at least like refine the sketch lines, like the actual lines for the hair, getting everything kind of cleaned up. Cause like I don't really need to start from here. This is I like this sketch, but it just needs like one little last pass over of just cleaning things that are up, and we'll be good. Then I can embarrass myself by trying a new style and failing terrible. That's always exciting. Oop, that's not the right color. I haven't posted like 6 months. Like it's hard. It's so hard. But I think I can do it. I've gotten to the point where like it used to be really tough to force myself to draw, but I've gotten to the point where like I can do it and still make something pretty decent, so long as I'm not like expecting too much. I think what I'm doing right now is just like I'll come up with like a generic idea, like a punk band or something sci-fi, and then I'll like try to do the best I can with that idea, and that's been getting me through a lot. It's like maybe I don't have like a super solid concept, but at least having like somewhere to start, and then like making sure what I do, even if it's like more of a a generic idea, kind of like an idea that's not like too unique. I can still focus on at least like performing that very well. So maybe it's not like the most original image of a punk show. It doesn't have like the craziest things going on. It's still like challenging for me, and it's like how well can I do this thing that I don't normally do. I'm getting some practice. Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing to be losing weight. I hope you're taking care of yourself. For me, I would want to lose weight, but I know I have friends who have dealt with, who definitely did not need to lose more weight. They had a lot of trouble with their body weight and keeping that up. But again, I hope that you can find help for that. You can take good care of yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to find the words for that. I think I need to do a better job of like also not focusing. Oh, okay. I was really worried there because I know that some people have like really like bad issues with like maintaining body weight, and it's a little hard for me to relate to that because like I've always dealt it from the opposite direction where it's like I need to lose weight. I don't need to gain weight. That usually comes along with no issue for me. But I know like other people have like different metabolisms and different like body weights, or we all have like different challenges as far as that goes. But being healthier, losing weight it can be really good. I think I'm at a pretty decent place right now. Like I could definitely lose weight, but I'm kind of like in the middle. I'm slim enough that I can I feel like I'm not like carrying a whole bunch of weight around. I still have like love handles and a little bit of a gut, but it's like to get all of that fat off, like it's gonna take way an insane amount of work. And I think I'm just happy here, like just not being like extremely I feel like I'm way down, or I feel like I can't squeeze past like hallways. Like the fact that I can like move around people without like coming into contact, like that's good enough. That's good enough for me. Now, if anything, it's like sometimes my shoulders will hit him because I'm a bit wide with the muscles that I have. Not that I have like extreme bodybuilder muscles or anything, but like it makes me a little wide boy, and that's kind of fun. It's kind of embarrassing, but it's also kind of fun. I could definitely be There could be a lot worse issues to have. Yeah. I think it's similar to like people who have issues with their height. I'm obviously a very short man. But I've heard people who are very tall and like have their issues to deal with, and it's always hard for me to relate because I'm like, please, I can't get out of like that little space inside of my head where it's like, God, what I would do for that height, even when they're telling me about like how like it's kind of a struggle and it's really embarrassing, but in the back of my head I'm still just like stuck in my like, oh my God, what I would do for those legs. Even though I think me being short is actually what makes exercise a lot easier for me, because like a lot of like the lifting exercises are much easier if you don't have as much if you're not as tall. It makes like balancing a lot easier because you're just more stout, you're just more close to the ground, and it gives you a lot of power in your legs, I think. And then just in general, you don't have to like, I think I might be coming out like just making this up out of nowhere, but I think it makes it so you don't have to take as many nutrients and supplements. Like a lot of exercises, like making sure you get enough protein. And I think if you're just like generally a smaller size, you don't need as much protein as somebody who's like 6'8", because like it's you literally have like a smaller body. Like you don't need as much nutrients to like to support that system. I mean, you still do, because like you need like a level of protein that's like not something you normally get just from marshmallows and eating cookies like I do, but not as much as if I was 6'8", I would have to be like on like a very, very like crazy diet where I'm like eating high protein diets like every at least like once a day. Which part of me does want to do. Yeah, I hope you end up getting healthier with your. I'm not sure if it's a diet or exercise thing, or if it's just how you're eating. But yeah, I hope it works out. I don't have too much advice on that because I've always had trouble eating differently. The only thing that I've done is I've done intermittent fasting, where I only eat for like 4 hours a day, but in that it's not 4 hours, it's like 8 hours. There's like an 8-hour period where I can eat, and what I eat in that 8 hours can be whatever I want. So I still eat garbage, but I try to like keep it within a certain time period. And for me, that's been really easy, instead of like, like trying anything like a paleo diet or any of those like crazy diets where you only eat pineapple and chocolate, or the crazy fad diet. Intermittent fasting is literally just like as soon as you eat, you have just like that certain time that you eat, because you give yourself enough time that your body starts using some of the fat that you have, because fat is basically like a storage for energy, like the calories that you consume. When you have too much, it just stores it into like balls of fat, and then if you get into, I think it's ketosis, which is whenever you don't consume anything for a couple of hours, your body goes into ketosis and starts using up those fat cells. I don't know if they're cells, but yeah. So yeah, you just don't eat for a lot longer than normal, in order to get that like process going where it starts using up those fat cells. But obviously you're not starving yourself for like longer than a day. You literally eat at least once a day. You have like one big meal a day. Some people it can be tough though. Some people can be really hard on, and I think generally what I've heard is that women have a really hard time with it. Not because like, women aren't strong enough or anything like Andrew Tate stuff, but like it's because women have like a really hard time with nutrients because I think one of the there's probably a few reasons, but one of the reasons is because periods what's the word like a lot of nutrients are lost from their body whenever they have their periods, so they have to like supplement it. Iron is usually the one that I think of, where they lose a lot of iron because of they're bleeding, so they lose a lot of that, and they have to make sure they keep their iron levels up a lot more than like a guy would normally have to, because we don't tend to lose our blood that often unless I don't know what occupation you would normally be losing a lot of blood once a month like a woman, so, or female born people. These are biology facts from a guy who has never taken biology. I mean, I guess in like high school, but yeah, that's what I do. I just try not to eat for a certain period of time. Sometimes I have breaks. Often I have breaks, maybe a little bit too often, where I just I eat whenever I want. But it's pretty easy to just make sure I don't eat within a certain time of day. Usually, your stomach gets used to it very quickly. Like I think it only took me like a week, and then like immediately like my stomach stopped being hungry for until it was time, basically. And even now, like I don't get hungry when it's time, but my body knows that it's time to eat. So like I'll basically act like I'm hungry, where it's like even though I don't feel like that rumbling in my stomach at all, like I don't feel anything in my stomach, but my brain will just be like, it's time to eat, and I'll like get really excited. I'm like, come on, let me get some food. Come on, I want food right now. Yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. The hardest part for me is actually I'll come across food very often, and I won't be able to eat, and that sucks. I'll be there'll be like some kind of like sweet, and I'll just be like, oh, maybe I could just have like smallest little snack, just a little chocolate. But it's like if it's not within the time frame, I can't eat that little snack. Like that's gonna ruin it. Like if you take any calories, it basically takes you out of ketosis. I think even coffee you're not supposed to have when you're trying to get onto ketosis, or trying to activate that part of your body. But I cannot survive without coffee, so I just ignore that part. It might be why I'm not like super effective at doing my fasting, but it is what's helped me. What was I just thinking about? And then also I know that coffee can help like stave off your hunger for a while longer, so that definitely helps too. So like, starting the day with coffee means I can go like a couple hours before I actually need to eat. So that helps a little bit, staving off hunger a little bit after you wake up, and then staving off of hunger before you go to bed. Yeah, I could probably even make it better by actually eating healthy whenever I eat, but that's too much work. I mean, like I am eating terribly when it's time to eat. Like, like chili, dogs, fries, hot dogs. I don't know why I just said dogs. I don't eat dogs. As far as you know. But yeah, that's my diet. It's garbage, but only a certain period of time. Limited time off. Oh, and then a lot of coffee. That probably helps. Not dog. Okay, don't do that. I don't eat dog. Hot dogs. I meant hot dogs, but for some reason my brain was just like, don't say the hot part. I think like my brain was like, oh, hot sounds child, so don't say that. Just say the word dog. And then like it took a second for it to click, where it's like, wait, did you just say you eat dogs? Don't look at me. When I ramble, I don't think. Hot dog. Just, please, I'm begging you. And stop bullying me. I am but a boy who happens to be a man's age, but boy nonetheless. How are we looking? Yeah, I think it should connect that line. I was kind of giving it more of an implied shape, but I think just having one solid line to connect it all will be good. Clean it up a little bit. This is a little too bright. Let's turn that way down so I can see the line better. Yeah, intermittent fasting works for me. It's also like not a like extreme diet. I remember like people would like look at me like I was crazy, like you don't eat breakfast. It's like even when I was like eating normally, like I usually skip breakfast. Like some people just don't need that. At least as far as like I've heard, like some people just don't eat breakfast and that's fine. Like one of the things is like they say you have to eat before you work out, and you know like you have to have something in your stomach. But I legitimately can't work out if I have like anything in my stomach. I hate the feeling of having food in my, just like rolling around in there basically. Like not to get too graphic, but like I can feel whenever there's something in my stomach, and I don't like that whenever I'm running a mile. Like that's not great. Second. It's like I literally eat like it's once a day. Like I don't like the you can go 3 days without eating. Not advice. That's not support Twitch. Don't think I'm advising people to do that. But like you can survive with like one big meal, and it's not like a small meal either. It's like, you know, a whole plate of food. You know, burger, fries, preferably something healthier. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, for a while people would just be like, you gotta eat something. And it's like, no, I'm fine. Like I said, like it gets really easy. Like after like the first a week or so, at least for me it did. Where like my body just stopped being hungry until it was like time. Or if like I forgot, then my stomach would get hungry. Like if I went way too long without food. But it wouldn't be like painful or anything. It'd just be like a vague reminder in the back of my head. Just be like, hey, it's been a little while. You should probably fix that. And I'll be like, yeah, I guess. What made me want to do art? I started in preschool. So, you know, it was just like one of those assignments that they just told you to draw. Like it was just, that's all it was. It was just like, hey, here's some crayons. Go make something. I think they might have asked me to do like a firehouse. I still remember like the moment when I decided like, oh, this is something I want to do forever. They told us to do a firehouse, or maybe I just like firemen. So I drew a little stick figure with crayon of a fireman with a hose. The grass was just like one straight line, you know, like there was no depth to the drawing at all. I was not a good artist until like high school, so. But once I drew that fireman, I literally like looked at it and I was like, this is the funnest thing in the world. Like this is the most fun I've ever had. Like I want to do this forever, and so I just kept doing it. In first grade, I was drawing in my little composition book. Second grade, same thing. I would have teachers tell me like, you should focus more, and I'm like, no, but I am focusing. I just also want to draw too. And like every year I would have to go through the same thing with my teachers, where it's just like I would be sketching my book and they'd be like, are you listening? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, but you're sketching. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening. I have ears. Like I can still listen and draw too. And I did pretty well for, I don't know, like first 4 years. I think 5th grade I started to have a little bit of trouble, but that was probably not just the drawing, because I mean I was doing that way before it anyways. I think I started like knowing how to like piece together my classes, where it's like I have like an A in this class, I can stop doing work and, you know, only do like half my work now because I have like a good grade, and then I'd end up with like a C, and I didn't really care because I was like, I don't know, 10. Yeah, once I did that first drawing in like preschool, I just kept drawing. It was just like the most fun thing for me. And I was making like a lot of characters in my head. Nothing too like cool. It was like a guy with a sword and just a normal baseball cap. And I was like, this is the Sword Master. And I did like sequels to it where it was like Sword Master 1, Sword Master 2. And then like it stopped being about swords. Like they would have like baseball bats. I don't even like baseball. I don't think I've ever seen like an entire baseball game. But for some reason, I always gave them baseball hats. But yeah, it was originally it was a lot more about like I wanted to make games, and so I drew like little platformer games, Mario like games with stick figures, and I really had fun doing that. Yeah, that was my journey with art. It was nothing too complex, and very early on, like I decided like to make that my personality, where I was like, I'm an artist, you know, like I would just introduce myself that way a lot, like in 5th grade, in middle school, and then in high school, I obviously took the first art class I could. I skipped it all through middle school for some reason. I just like, I think there was a bit of I knew how to do art, so I didn't really feel like taking the class. And then also I took orchestra, and that took up pretty much my only real elective. I think it was like some classes were 1 elective and some classes counted as 2 electives. And orchestra was one that took up both slots. So as soon as I started taking orchestra, I kept doing it until I got into high school. I don't even like doing orchestra that much. The instruments was fun, but the teacher was not super great. But yeah, in high school, I started doing a drawing. It was like draw a celebrity, basically. Just draw your favorite celebrity. First assignment in class, you know, just something to get started. It was a pencil and paper. And I drew Kurt Cobain, even though I didn't really listen to that much Nirvana at the time. I just knew he was a guy that was cool to like. I think like pretty much immediately after that drawing, I did finally start actually listening to him. Because I was like, I say I like this guy, but I don't actually. But the issue was that like, whenever I drew him, it was really bad. It was a very bad pencil drawing of Kurt Cobain. I still have it, like hanging on the wall, in the laundry room of my house right now. But once I did that and I did so bad, I was like, I call myself an artist and I don't even know how to draw people. Like this is bad. So I started getting really into looking up like tutorials on YouTube. That's how I got into Mark Crilly. If anybody, I don't know if you know who they are, but they were a very early on like anime artist, comic artist as well. He had a lot of great lessons. Then DeviantArt, I got into DeviantArt pretty early into high school. And so I was like looking up tutorials. I was looking up like inspiration for how they did art. And so in like a very short period of time, I started learning a lot about how to like draw anatomy, you know, like different art styles. And being in the art class, like I got a lot of opportunities to try paints. I tried watercolors. I tried chalk art, you know, pastels. So like I started to figure out like a lot of things I liked about art, a lot of things I didn't like about art, you know, what my style was. I still don't really know what my style is besides, you know, anime inspired, comic book inspired. Like just that general like category of like somewhere in there. I draw characters that aren't supposed to look that real. Yeah, high school was where like I think became an artist art. And I think like around like that time I also like started to figure out like video game design actually doesn't really have that much to do with art. I think maybe some of the more indie titles do, but it's more of like mechanics and programming first, and then the art comes later. You know, like making a good, fun, playable game, and then you focus on story, usually secondary. So I kind of switched off that. I think maybe I did think about being like a concept artist for a little while, but there's not really a lot of information on how that works. At least at the time. Maybe if I spent a lot of time doing it now, I'd figure it out. but like I didn't really know what to do to be like a concept artist. Like there's not a pathway. Like you know, like maybe as an artist you work with another artist, and then eventually you learn the tools of the trade, and then you can become like your own professional artist. You know, tattoo artist is exactly like that. Tattoo artist is a very straight through line. You know, you practice on your own. When you think you're good enough, you show your art to like a tattoo shop. They hire you. You get plenty of practice, and then all of a sudden you're like a really good you know, you build up your credibility by doing the work in like a bigger shop. Then you go from small shop to big shop. Then you go solo, and you know, you do like custom clients and that kind of stuff. I say that like it's easy, but you know, that's like a 30-40 year journey as far as tattoo. But concept art, I don't really know, because I think like concept art, like sometimes it's like artists who, you know, work in comic books, they'll transition into doing art for movies and video games, or sometimes they'll just like come straight from college and go to into the design. So I don't really know if there's like a very obvious pathway as far as like being like a game concept artist. So now it's kind of just like, I think I'm just gonna be an artist, period. Like an artist that does commission work, and that's pretty much it. Because there's plenty of examples of that on, I mean, Instagram is the one that I think of, but like DeviantArt as well. Like that I think is the most like standard. I don't know. I'm giving lines on these pockets. They're just supposed to be normal pockets. Like the most obvious one is literally just like the commission artist who does drawings here and there. You know, like they just leave their sheet up, and then they get called to do this or that, and then all the while they're also doing their own personal pieces. Yeah, that is where that basically just leads me to today. You know, high school, I finished. I took every art class I could. Played with a lot of different mediums. And all the while just trying to improve area by area, where it's like, let me learn more anatomy, let me learn how to do backgrounds better, let me learn how to do clothes and cloth better, let me learn how to do females a lot better, because originally I had a really hard time drawing girls. I like, it was weird looking up pictures of, you know, girls to draw, and I felt like weird about it, and I didn't want anybody to think I was one of those anime artists that like just draw girls and, you know, are kind of weird and creepy about it. I don't know. There's a lot of that kind of what's the word? You put a lot of like stress on yourself about that, but it's like all made up in your head. I did once get somebody to be like, "Hey, you're like an anime artist, but like you're not weird, and that's kind of cool," and that made me feel really good. Although I don't think that was like the nicest thing to say. I took it only as a good thing. I was like, heck yeah, like I am an anime artist that isn't weird. But yeah, so that was another one where it was like trying to get like the female form. I still like have a lot of trouble drawing women. I'm always having to like look back at like some references that I collect, and like just double checking like, okay, is this how the hip bone connects? Like, why do some girls have hips and then some girls have like the little flat bits? I just now found out that hip dips are a thing. Like I always struggled with that, because some girls or some artists I see draw girls with, you know, just a round hip, and then some artists have like a really flat hip, and then the round part comes out with a thigh muscle. And I was like, why is it different every single time? Why is it like why do people not draw it consistently? Like, which one is it? And like I know I've seen people with like the flat part, but I've also seen people with the round parts. It didn't occur to me that like some girls just have like really wide hips, and then some girls have slightly bonier hips, and that's kind of just like a natural thing. Kind of like some guys have like very prominent shoulders, like me, and then some guys just have like very sloped shoulders that don't show up very well, which is that probably really sucks. But again, don't at me. Sorry, take it. I just drank a bunch of coffee, and I'm gonna drink more. So yeah, You asked why I got into art, and then I decided to just say everything I know about art. That is how my brain works. But yeah. I think a lot of very early on it was like me copying video games, also anime. Like I remember I used to trace like Naruto panels, mostly Dragon Ball Z. I remember tracing a lot of Dragon Ball panels. I remember them being really good too, which was strange because I wasn't good at art yet, but I guess I traced very well. But it didn't take until like at least middle school that I got into it. Oh yes, stick figures. And the funny thing is, like, I wouldn't draw them well either. Like, I draw them like this. Like, it didn't take me until like middle school that I realized, like, wait a second, like people aren't even shaped like that. People are like have tiny necks, and then like their shoulders, and then they like have their arms, and then they have like boxier shapes. Oops. Like I still kept drawing like this, even though like the neck is not that long. There's no waist. There are no shoulders. Like no one's this thin. It wasn't until like middle school that I actually like started making them 3D shaped. And that's when I first came up with the element. This is like I still do this if you see my drawings. Like I figured out in middle school, basically everybody has like an almond shaped head. Basically what I do is I skip a step. You're supposed to like do the circle and then have the jaw come out from that, but I just skip it and just go straight into the almond shape, which is probably not that great because eventually you do need to figure out where the neck connects, and it helps give more of a round feel because sometimes I used to have like really fat heads or like sometimes like really like narrow heads. And it took like a few years for me to get it very consistent, round almond shape. Doing the circle is better if you need to figure out exactly where the jaw and the cheeks are aligned. But usually I have like a good idea of where that's going to be when I start. But that's me just skipping a step because I'm stubborn. And I thought it was silly to draw a circle and then draw the jaw when you can just do that both at once. I don't know if I would recommend that for anybody else. Like that's kind of just a me thing. Yeah, stick figures are fun. I used to draw literally like until like at least the 5th grade, I was only drawing stick figures. So that's like 5-6 years of drawing, and like it was just sketchbooks full of stick figures and like video games that wouldn't even be fun to play because I didn't know anything about game design. Like I never thought about the games besides like this is what I think games look like. I didn't even play Mario like that much. Like I played like Super Mario Sunshine, which is not like a normal Mario game. It wasn't like it was all like platforming slashing games. But like I've never played a platforming slashing game. Like I played I don't know what Grand Theft Auto when I was a kid, Crash Bandicoot. That's more of a platform. But like they had like a lot of levels where it was like almost like a third person instead of a like traditional platformer where you're seeing everything on a 2D plane. Well, I'm getting so distracted. Well, I mean, I guess it's good that I'm getting distracted because that just means I get to focus on drawing the lines. I don't think you are. Does that look like he has a big wiener? Am I making the crotch bump too prominent? Let me turn the camera. He's not supposed to have a huge dong or anything. Alright, let's see. Maybe I need to flatten it a little bit. It's time for your weekly dick flattening. I think curving that like a little plane is a little too weird. Maybe making the line a little bit more flat will just make it look less noticeable. I think I pay way more attention to this area than other people will. but sometimes it works out for me. The stick figures are fun. I like stick. Or maybe I just need to remove this line entirely. Just a second. I'm gonna look up a reference. Like if it's prominent on like everybody and people just don't pay attention to it, then that's fine. But I just need to make sure I'm not going crazy. The bulge, yeah. I don't know why I do it. It's so stupid that like I can't. Sometimes as soon as I like draw them, I think because when I was younger, I used to draw them really weird, where like I would literally draw them like. I have the right pencil. It's an eraser. Yeah. So I would draw like the pants. Imagine those are pants. And then I would draw like the V very deep. So I would like draw their pants like that. And people would like ask me like, why are his pants like putting so much emphasis there? I'm like, I don't know. Like that's where the pelvis is. And the thing is like, it doesn't really like it doesn't suction to that area like my brain was like thinking. Not because I just didn't know how, like I just never, it took me a while to realize like, wait a second, pants sag, like they don't like stick to the body, kind of like comic book like heroes. I mean, you'll see in comic book heroes they do have like clothes that literally suction to their crotch, and no, we just don't talk about it. It's just like something we just don't point out in comic books. It's just a thing. But yeah, it took me a while to realize that like it's just like a little saggy thing. Like it's not something that like emphasized instead of like, you know, like that where it's like all the creases are coming from this area and like everything leads your eye to that area. That's how I used to draw like pants. I've been traumatized. Where I kept embarrassing myself and by like showing people like, hey, here's this design, and like people are just like, why is this crotch doing that? What's it doing up? Guy with shorts. Just Google that. Oh goodness, some of these are. Oh no. Okay, yeah, that one's definitely supposed to pay attention to that area. Let's go with this one. This feels just casual enough. My screenshot app is not working, so we're just gonna copy and paste this image. So you know, no, it doesn't look like this is the weirdest part. Weirdest part of any one of my streams that I think I've ever done. But yeah, it looks like it just sags. It doesn't really like suction to yourself at all. Especially because like these aren't tight shorts; these are loose cargo shorts. So I think this like looser look is probably where we're gonna go. It is a little hard to tell because he does have his hands in his pocket. But I think we're still good. Let me double check with one more thing. Preferably one without his hands in his pocket. Oh my god. Can a guy just like exist without like putting his hands in his pockets? Giant shorts are not in fashion. What is this article talking about? They're so ugly. Okay, this is probably what I'm thinking. So yeah. See, like there's just like a lot of creases that happen in that area, and I guess it's just not supposed to be like that prominent. Like the bulge isn't. It should still be like loose fitting enough that it's like not wrapping around your pelvis. Like it's just hanging off of your pelvis. And sometimes I forget that. Sometimes I study a little bit too much in anatomy and I overthink. See, it's simply because my brain too big. You misunderstand. Hold on, I want to double check one more time, see what theirs look like. I'm not gonna put that many creases because it is kind of like a way too. That will probably drive way too much focus. Adding too much detail there. But just like tiny little creases. Just so like you can tell like it's a kind of a wrinkly textured short. Like it's got a lot of like excess cloth. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. I think more of the wrinkles we can get out during the shading and face. Sorry, stretch. How are we looking? I'm just gonna delete that one now. We're looking pretty good. I changed the pockets because one of them's pointing in one direction and then the other one's pointing the other. I don't really like how one of them looks 3D and this other one looks very flat. Let me see if I can like mix it up. Nope. That's not what I wanted. I forgot what size my brush is supposed to be. I think like 13, 12. Yeah, 12 feels right. This one on top feels right. It feels like it's pointing the right direction. But the other one, like it's pointing the opposite direction and it feels kind of funky. Maybe I'm paying too much attention to it. I'm going to say I'm paying too much attention to it. Let's just ignore it. We're okay. I'll survive. I'll be okay. Let me look up the shoes that I was going to draw. Hold on a second. Just to try to get it right. Air Force Ones. Oh great, some of my keys just stopped working. Actual pandas. Whoops. There one from above. Yes. Okay. Gosh. Move your butt over here. Bop. What? No, go back. What? I just cropped it. What? I'm mad. I'm mad now. I'm very mad. I just cropped it and then it undid the crop and now it doesn't save the crop, so I can't redo it. Angry. I'm very angry. Big angry. Biggest of angries. I don't know why there's a cupcake. Okay, that's trimmed enough. And I made them look like child's shoes. I'm never gonna get this right. We're good. Okay. Oh, okay. Those are there. Now I can draw. Just draw. Yeah. I made them in the high tops. Probably shouldn't have used an image that's not even the exact same shoe. This is good. So it goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. Goes in, goes out, goes in. Sorry, I'm trying to understand how the shoe looks. One of those things that I talk about is that, like, some kids love drawing shoes when I was growing up. Like that would be the only thing to draw. Everybody had like that one thing that they like to draw. For me, it was stick figures. A lot of people, it was Sonic. Like they would just draw Sonic OCs all day, which is kind of hilarious, but to each their own. I remember there was a girl who drew horses all the time, and then shoes was another one. Cars was another one. But shoes is the one that I always think about because I didn't know that many people that only drew shoes. I think I only knew like one or two in my entire lifetime. And I thought it was interesting because like I didn't really know anything about shoes, especially back then. And I mean, even now, I only know I like silly looking shoes, like those really ugly, colorful ones. Like those are some of my favorites because they're just ugly, and I like it. I like wacky shoes, not too wacky, but just wacky enough. Hang on just a second. Never mind. It wasn't that important. Look at the text. I thought it might be something urgent. But it was immediately just a meme. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But the main part is these 6. And then I don't know how to do all those dots on the feet. Just like. Oh, wait a second. I think I have a brush for this. Oh, perfect. Nice. Might look a little artificial, but that's alright. We're not going for perfect here. Just to make me happy. There we go. I'm gonna intentionally make the swoosh backwards. Is swoosh the term that they're supposed to use? Is that like the trademark term? Or is that just the word, the silly way people describe it? Sorry, I decided to look up an article about what the swoosh on the Nike brand thing is. Is it called a swoosh? Then why is it called a swoosh? All right, that's enough. That's. I'm gonna lose my mind trying to figure out why it's called a Nike swoosh. A swoosh. It's a funny word. I wonder if I can move it slightly without like completely ruining it. We'll see. I might have to redo the lines on the front just to make it a little bit less. Isn't there like a rotate one too? That's more of an expansion. Yeah, let's not make it too complex. Let's just do that. Leg looking weird. Let me reset this back to like normal. It is looking a little weird. Did I accidentally move the leg? Okay. Let me try cutting his leg off real quick. In a good way. In a non-violent way. Under. It's close as I can get. Select, deselect, center the camera because for some reason it moved all the way. So, I'm gonna turn off the back one too. Just focus on what we got now. I think it might be exciting to point a little bit more towards that direction, but it's a little weird look. I can tell that it's changed, but I don't know if it looks... I think it looks fine. Like it's weird. Like I changed it to look better, basically. Like I wanted, like this is supposed to be an improvement, but I don't think it looks bad on either. Like the changed version and the regular version look good in my head. I don't know what that's about, but it's alright. Let's just focus and try to get the rest of the line art finished. Did I just... Hold on a second. I just realized something I might have done wrong. Aha. I forgot I was making this jacket from something real. I forgot there was a reference for this thing. And you just make sure... I know this the jacket doesn't have buttons. Then okay, I think I see how the pockets are set up. Let me make the lines a lot more thin, or the pockets a lot more closer to the body. Let me just draw it and then explain it. Like very close to the body right here, and then it kind of like pushes out towards the bottom where you can see like there's a little bit more room for the pockets to expand if it needs to carry anything. I think the same for up top. Like it clings really close to being flat, and then like towards the end you see like the excess. You shouldn't be seeing underneath it at all. Oh, and the top one doesn't have a button. Is that a third pocket in? I think that's a third pocket, like a really skinny pocket. It's weird. Trying to even out the widths of the pocket. There it goes. Feels a little bit more consistent. That. Then whenever I get to like the rendering stage, I'll get all these like little patchy looks to it. Okay, let's focus on this part now. I'm gonna do like a really bold line, so maybe like 8. You know what? I'm gonna use the liner brush because this can really have like a line variation to it. I'm gonna zoom out even. I might leave that. We'll see. Because with like skin, with folds and like clothing, and in this case skin, sometimes you want those like little lines where it just flows with the everything. Because you know, like there's a flow from this line right here. This line right here has like a flow to it. So I don't know if I need to trim it off in order to like keep things neat, or if I can keep it. Because there's, you know, there should be a flow there. But I don't know if like the skin wraps around the skin, around the hand like that, just like that. Like it's a little, like there's folds in the hand, but like they don't like go with that, overlap that area usually. Like here, there's a like little skin flap, or a little place where you can see like the, like I don't know what it is, like loose skin, like a little fold in the flesh, a wrinkle, if you will. I'm doing like the little loop on the thumb that I remember from Naruto. I don't know what the story of what was going on because I'm very wishy-washy on like very early Naruto. But I remember there's like a part where he paints himself like the clown. And I don't think it was a filler. I think it was like an actual like OG, like one of the first like 30 episodes. I want to have like a little bit more squareness to it. Yeah, I'm thinking about also like cutting the hand out and blurring it. So like you just get like a very heavy blur of where the hand is. Because it's out of focus in the camera that he's holding. It's like, stretch. How we doing? How we doing on time? We're about an hour in, an hour and a half in. We got about another half hour, or more than likely another hour and a half, because I probably want to keep working on this and just keep pushing along. So I think with this one, I was hoping to get the at least the coloring or the flats done. So we'll see if I can get there. I don't think I have too much more to do on the sketching, the like clean sketch. I think I want to make the platforms a little higher. Oh, I forgot how blurry it is. Keep changing the I'm changing the size of the wrong brush. Oh, I just remembered this now. Oh my god, I'm going to scream if I keep messing up this brush. I hate when I change the size of the wrong brush. It's because I switch them too fast. I already forgot how the shoes look. There we go. And then I think there's like another section. Oh no, the backs actually do just look like that. Okay. Okay, I don't know if that changed anything at all, but I feel better about it. Now we're gonna go right back to, go like 18 again. No, let's do 20. Just make a fat pencil. Let's start with this line first. Oh, I'm making this too hard. Why am I doing this? Let's just leave that. No, 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 no. I want this to be a little thinner. I'm gonna just trim it out. Just cut it out. Just cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. Here we go. Back to 20. Bah. Nope, that's 2. That's not 20. Oh my god, I'm gonna scream. Ah! Fear me. Okay. Let's see. Now we can do this line. I'm gonna go to like 13 for the patch. It's close enough to the camera that it'll get a little bit. Still just patch, so nothing too. Okay, what are we looking like? We're just missing a little bit of the shorts. There may be a little bit more detail in the hair. But I think I just wanted to focus on the silhouette first. I just need to finish this here. Okay. We can turn you off now. Let's just do some of the hair now. After a sip of coffee. Maybe I should close the hair gap. Okay. Then let's see. How's the hair going? Let me just do this real quick. Palette, make a bright color. So this is where the hair, center of her hair is supposed to be. I think I need to trim that top piece of his hair a little bit. Let's dye this down. Oop. No, that doesn't look right. I think it needs a little bit more of a curve. Something like this. Yeah, it looks. I kind of want to do something like that too. Where it's like layered. Same with you. You need to curve a little bit more towards it in. There we go. Ooh, boop, 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 boop. What happened there? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it's good. This stream is gonna be a lot of this, apparently. One man's dream of just getting the line just right. Go. Yeah, I just unbuckled my pants. What are you gonna do about it? Unbutton. Like I said, I'm happy with my weight, but I do have a little bit of gut. And these pants are kind of tight, so sue me. I really like these pants at a thrift store, and I didn't want to put them back. Ooh, that's drawing the hairs. It's a little harder doing it on a tablet. But I still plan on buying one around April, March, sometime around then. Well, for the full iPad, getting the graphic tablet, we'll see if that like boosts my digital output anymore. Gives me like way more practice. Then I'm gonna have to figure out if I can maybe do it on stream. We'll see. Sorry about the cracky knuckles. I probably should have just muted myself. But sometimes I can't help myself. Just adding more stray hairs. Roughen it up a bit. Break up the shape. Ooh, I know this song. This one's good. Okay. Think we're almost just almost there. Sorry, I said okay like I was done, but I just got maybe one last little. Oh God, please, never, please, never. What? Correct. I'd rather start talking nonstop about Magic the Gathering. It's disgusting. I would never be into something so nerd. D&D is cool. That's weird. Yeah. think I need something to counteract it, like going against the weight of that hair in the back. Just like a little, just a little patch of it that goes up. No. Wow. It's not at all what I wanted it to do. And then I think maybe just the ears. Am I missing anything? Ears? Maybe I'll do the shirt. Hey, dude, I think that was one more. Oh yeah, the like texture of the shirt. What if I do some? Let's go for a fill bucket. Oh, sorry, I can't help myself from yawning. That's why I have the coffee. Let's see, let's try filling this in with a pattern. Is it right tool? No, this is gradient. Fill pattern. Oh, I should have changed it. Can I make it scale any higher? It doesn't look like it. Okay. So this is the texture I want for the shirt, but obviously I do not want it this high. So we're gonna, how are we gonna do this? So let's start with like cutting out a chunk of it. This is on layer. Oh, jeez, man. It's one of that. Okay, so now this is that. Turn it around so it fits more with the shirt that is gonna be on. Then we're gonna expand it by a lot so then the image it's not such a ridiculously like small dense pattern. Okay, let's see how we do. Maybe a little too actually. Just like a slight. Like maybe that side. Move this on top. There we go. I think this is gonna work. So let's just like trim off, not all of it, but like enough, and then we can manipulate it from there. That's not wrong layer. So we're only really focusing on this section. Okay. And then I'm just gonna warp it around his shirt. I'm gonna do digital. This is like a move layer. And nothing too much, just like a little bit here to make his chest look a little, you know, like it's pushing out. Moving it inwards is for the wrinkles. You know what? Hold on. Let me also do another. This will actually be perfect. I'm gonna go to my fill brush. Make an erase layer. Bop. There we go. So that now wherever it goes within this selection, it's gonna always fit in perfectly. You'll see what I mean. Nope, that's not fun. Yeah, we'll worry about it later. Then you'll see once I start warping, it'll I can change like the direction and it will still fit within only the boundaries that I allow it to be. That I have deemed necessary. I also don't even want another color, so let's trim that out too. For some reason, I keep going over the line. Pay attention. I do leave it a little vague here, so. There we go. All right, now we're gonna keep playing with it. Digital, back to the move brush. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm doing the wrong part. I was like, nothing's working how I said it would. Okay, that's not what I want to do. Uh-oh. Stop it. Go back to normal. Crap. Let me start it again. Keeping that eraser though, because I think that part worked. First of all, did I make sure to choose the right color when I did that? Because I don't really like how that looked. Oops, wrong layer. Down, there. Okay. Then we're gonna erase a whole bunch. Actually, let's just do it on the erase layer anyways. Maybe that'll save some time, we'll see. Is there a reason why his hair is blue? Oh, that's right. Let me delete this. This was just me marking out where the flow of the hair was, so I can like edit it a bit, but we don't need that now. Okay, see? Perfect. It all fits the shirt. So let's now manipulate it. I'm a master of manipulation. That's not true. Get it fit more where I want it to be. Almost. What? Oh, almost like maybe just a tiny little bit more. Tiny little bit more than that. Okay, maybe a lot more. A little bit less. Okay, I think that's where I want. Now we can move this around. I'm gonna erase a little bit actually. By a little bit, I mean a lot of it. Not as much as I did before, but still still a lot of it. Okay. So we still have plenty of excess to play with. Yeah, so we still got all this to stretch and move around. But I don't know if there's any other but actually. So we're just gonna try to fit it around the wrinkles and everything. It's not super important to do this. I just want to. I just think it's a nice little effect. And it's not too complex either. There we go. There we go. I think that's exactly where I want it. The only other thing is I want it to have the same color, so I'm not sure why it has like this weird look to it. What just happened? Why did it do that? Was it because I made it a multiply? No, it's a pass-through. That's why it changed. This is supposed to be the pass-through. So just make sure it all fits the same color tone. I think I could just cover it. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, it's because it's a fill, so it doesn't actually do it. Color? Screen? I don't know. Why is it not like the same color? I think it's because the white isn't actually white, but that's kind of annoying. I don't know. Hold on. Filter, adjust, threshold. Filter, colors, color alpha. That's the wrong one. I have to be on this layer to do that. Colors to alpha. My keyboard's not working. 1 second, I have to plug in my second. I have two. Oh my god, there we go. Okay, so then I think this should work. Kind of. Maybe I need to tweak this a bit. Is it not the right color? Hi there. Nice to see you, resident artist. I am trying to figure out how to get this pattern to be the same color, and it's not working. I think it's because like the pattern isn't exactly like I don't know. I think the whites are technically part of it. I'm not too sure. It's really weird. It's not doing anything. Like even if it's at 0, it's still not the right color. It's not a multiply. Okay, hold on. Maybe that'll help a bit. I'm figuring it out. Just playing with a bunch of layers. Okay, that fits a little. I just need to find just the right amount. Think about there. About 70. But I also don't want it to be that noticeable. So we can wrap all that up. Let's make it a little lighter. I think whenever we get shading into here, it'll be a lot less noticeable. Like we can kind of just like blend it all together, so you see only pieces of the texture, and it's not just this one random section of the drawing that has texture on it. That'd be a little weird. But yeah, I'm just working on this piece. This is my second week on it. I might go for like 1 more hour. We're just gonna see how far we can get. I'm pretty much finished with the line art now, so I think I'm gonna move on to getting some flats and yeah, just plotting out the colors for this thing. You can see up on the top left I have the colors already planned out because I kind of already had like an image of what colors I wanted to use. So we'll see where we go from there. I'm also considering doing this more of a painting rather than my usual line art and filling it in like a comic book. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's yeah. Usually I don't have a color palette ahead of time, but I guess this time around my brain was just like, nope, we got this. Don't worry about it. We're already on it. How are we gonna do this? So let's start. Which one is it? Is it this? Which one is the color masking tool? This one. Colorize mask. Okay. So the pink is going to be the parts that aren't going to get colored in. Cutting it a little closer. Then we're going to have to like cut out the little pockets. Tool. This is going to be the transparent layer. So all of these aren't going to get filled in. All the places that I'm coloring in pink right now. So I need to get all the little gaps and kind of like lead the tool. Yeah, I did actually do a little bit of that. Like January of last year, where I just made a bunch of like little character sketches, just like their faces, and I just played around with a bunch of palettes to get a little bit more practice with more unique palettes, and that was really fun. I think it was part of a challenge, but I didn't do it. I just ripped it from the sheet. That sounds fun. I like lizards. Those are one of those animals that actually do have like a huge range of colors that you can play with. This doesn't need to be super accurate. Ooh, don't get too close to the lines. The other artists, we all use the same palette, but the others never end up finishing. So I just drew the lizard. Yeah, at least you know you can do it. That does sound fun doing it with a few artists. I have a few artists friends of mine, especially now. I think not to get too personal, but both of my best friends got a girlfriend and a boyfriend that are also artists. So now, instead of me being one of the only artists in the group, there's now like 4 artists in the group, and it's pretty great. So being able to talk to them about art is awesome. Just having more opportunities to talk to other artists. I mean, honestly, I probably could have just like, I don't know, made some more friends, but you know, who knows how to make friends as an adult? That's weird. Oh, maybe. Let me try finishing this piece. This one shouldn't be too long though. It's gonna be like maybe another 2 sessions. I'm hoping another 2 sessions, maybe 3. We'll see how much quickly I can get the rendering and everything done. But yeah, just for fun. Just doing some challenge. A challenge. I don't really have any plans on what I'm gonna do next, so may as well. That's a good point. When I was a kid, I didn't really have like that barrier of like social anxiety as much. So like I would literally just jump into people's faces and just be like, hey, I'm gonna hang out with you now, and then start talking to them. I do have the like ability to like be friendly with somebody and kind of make connections, but it's literally just like the getting started part where it's like you find a person and you know not to bother them. Especially now that I'm a lot more aware of like, oh, some people don't like hanging, they just want to be quiet. They just want to be on their own. And it kind of ruins their day when somebody just jumps up and talks to them. Some people really don't want to talk to people. So I try to be way more aware of that. And that also means that like I'm a little bit too afraid to start conversations like I used to. Because now I try to sympathize and be like, you know, like sometimes I don't want to talk to people. So if somebody jumped in my face, I wouldn't be super happy about it. Okay. And then for the other color, we're going to use, which color should be like a base tone? I'm going to go with this like cold skin color, which is a little foreboding, but it should be all right. Try to keep mostly within the lines. I think the AI for this thing will fill it in easily enough. We'll see. I don't know how like detailed I need to be for this AI. Oh no, the shoes are gonna have so many little details. Gotta make sure I fill them in, but also not fill them in too much. Just enough. Oh, that's great. Yeah, like I'm really happy with Krita. It's been super useful. Like it's got a lot of tools that I think other art programs also have, but you know, obviously, especially like the paid ones have. I'll just say Photoshop and Clip Studio or whatever. I don't even know that one's name. It's got a lot of those like really complex tools that usually you have to pay for in order to get. So after like using this for like a year or so, like I immediately donated like the like I don't know, like 10, 20, 30 bucks, because I was like, even if it's not like a paid platform, like I appreciate that it at least gives me the option of paying on my own. I also appreciate GIMP, even if it isn't like that great, but at least it's free. Oh, I was wondering where my brush was. I lost it for a second. All right, I'm gonna see if this is good enough for it to get like a good base flat down. Nope, that's not what I want. I think this is the one. Oh, I remember this song. It has a weird scraping sound for some reason. Oh, it won't let me change the song. Please. There we go. Sorry, we have to wait for the Krita to finish doing the colorizing. The AI is trying to separate the two groups. I think it's like 70% of the way there. It says 98, but it's not. So it's going to try to fill in the gaps and get them as close as possible. And this is just how I like... yeah, it's a very easy way to do all the flats very quickly. And then you still have to go through and clean it up. Instead of like... what I used to do is I just filled the entire thing and then just went across... went around the edge of the border of the character and just like trimmed off like all the excess colors that were going past the line art. And that wasn't like an extreme amount of time. It took like maybe an hour, but this cuts it down from like an hour to maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. So it's like, it saves quite a bit of time. And there's like a few techniques. I think there's like 3 different ways I've saw how to do this, but the colorize mask tool is probably the easiest because you can specifically denote which parts are transparent, so it doesn't fill that in at all. So this is really good for like, for me, I like just doing it for the first flat. Oh, here we go. Now I think we can see it. Let's see where it goes. Try, then I think you convert it to a paint layer. There we go. Perfect. So let me see. Turn off the background so you can see it a little better. Okay, so it's a little excess. You can see a little bit where it messed up. But honestly, that's not too bad. I think that's the only area it messed up. Even the fingers I got right. The zipper, the shoe, I think there's a little gap right there. And then there's a little gap right here. Little gap here. Yeah. So this is way easier to fill than doing the process that I usually used to do. Yeah, and then you can also do multiple colors. So like you saw here, there was the pink and then there was the gray. But you can also do it with eyes and, you know, like just piling on 8 different colors. But the thing is, it's like, I think it's a little bit quicker for me to do that myself. Because I tried one of my other drawings doing like each different section of the outfit. So like the shoes, the pants, the jacket, the shirt. Like I did that all in one layer, but that was a little bit more complex because it was some colors overlap with other colors, some areas overlap with other areas. This one's just very simple, like character, background, that's it. That's the only 2 colors I want them to worry about. And then from there, I can at least like lock the alpha, so then I can only color on the character itself. All right, so let's fill this back in. What's going on? What's going on? Why won't it let me fill in? Oh, I'm using a blur brush for some reason. Why do I have a blur brush? This song's... Nope, I see you. I see you right there. I see you. You're not getting away. Hold on, let me do this. But that way you can just switch eraser, not eraser. Okay, and then I also noticed that the shoe had a little gap. Just like, especially because this brush is like a little transparent, so I think that's why the AI has a little bit more trouble than normal. Like if it was a very hard brush, it might have a lot easier time filling in the gaps. But yeah, I looked up like a lot of little tools that you can use to like speed up the process. The one that I see a lot of artists use is a lasso tool to color in big sections, but I don't know what it is, but I can't get that. It's a really hard technique for me because it just feels like it's slowing me down, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try doing that in just a second. Let me finish cleaning this up. We can try. Yeah, that's what I think too. Like it feels like it's just the same as doing a line. The only thing I did see was figure out was that it does kind of like force you to make a hard decision on, is this part of this shape, or is this part of another shape? So like you don't have as many like lines where it's kind of faded. Like let me see. So let's say like the nose here. So you would have to like figure out like, okay, this, let me choose a different color. This has to be like a hard shape. Like you can't like kind of make it vague. And that was like the only part of it that I think was like, I could really tell like, okay, yeah, like that's why people do use lasso tool there, because it like forces you to make a big decision on areas where you might not, if you had like if you just filled it in with like a, I don't know, like a slightly low opacity brush. Are you asking me to do that now? Let's see. Oh, hold on, that's Phil. This is the erase. Making sure I'm getting it in good. It did brighten up the LiDAR. Hold on, let's see. Deselect. It did brighten up everything because it's a multiply layer for my line art. which is a very pleasant warm look. But I do want it to be kind of a multiply. Or how about here, where it like specifically is a little patchy? It does make the line art look clean. Ooh, also what I could do. Select, deselect. I could just multiply the line art, or duplicate the line art. That way it makes it a little bit more finished and bold. So just one line art is a little transparent, and then you add that other one to just really like kind of remove a lot of the guesswork. I probably could have done that before I did the fill, but it ended up being all right anyways. So you still have a little bit of transparency in some of these areas, but you know, that's all right. I'm just gonna merge these two together. No! No! I'm gonna leave you separate. Because it doesn't multiply on each other. Okay, yeah, that also has to do with the brush I use, because I do like the sketchier pencil look. 1 second. The one that I see people obsess over is like the G pen, which is like it's like a regular like hard brush, but it has like a little bit of transparency. Let's see, do I have one? Do I have one of those? I think it might be in here. That's a highlighter, mechanical pencil. Not sure, but I do remember that there's like a pencil that everybody like obsesses over that has like a little bit of transparency. It's a hard brush, and I think it's like small. I'm trying to think, but I'm not very good at thinking. Anyways, that's just something that I know people use for their line art. I can never get that into it. I don't really like having transparency to my lines, and I'm trying to get more comfortable with that. I'm trying to get used to it, because like especially coming from like traditional mediums, like I use ink pens for my line art, so I'm used to the lines being very clean, open and shut, no transparency, no hullabaloo. Oh, let me put the background back on. There we go. Nice and happy. So now from here, I'm just gonna freeball it, and we're gonna start separating out some sections. So let's group the base layer. This is gonna be all the colors that go onto it. Yeah, this is my most used section. So I have like a pencil. This is always my sketching. I don't really use this brush that often, but I love this pencil brush, or this pen brush, because it has like a very it legit feels like a pen. I just realized that this doesn't even make any sense. So like the way it writes is like almost exactly like how I remember a pen feeling. Like this is almost exactly how my handwriting looks in real life. I don't know what about the pen, but it like almost translate exactly to how I like in real life. Let me use another color. Just as messy. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this brush, but I really like how it gets it just right. Something about the line, the thinness of those lines at the end, and it's like very buttery smooth. It feels like a really good pen. Then I have like a solid. This is my solid line art. There's no thickness. There's no opacity changes. It's just hard line. This is my liner brush where I want there to be a little bit of more variety to the line weight. So it can be thin, it can get thick, just depending on how much pressure. But otherwise, it's still just like really solid. Like there's no transparency to it at all, except when it gets like really thin. Yeah, it's just a very solid, like like I said, like sometimes you need to be like forced to make a decision because when, especially in animation, like you need a very clear shape in order to do it, in order to work from. That way, whenever it moves around in space, you know exactly where it is and isn't. Because if you have like any kind of like guesswork there, like it can get very messy whenever you have to translate, especially between people. So like if you're working with more than one person, if you have a shape that isn't 100% clear, someone else will animate it completely differently, and you have like places where things don't match together properly. Honestly, you only need simple brushes. Like most of the like high level artists that I watch, they have like maybe 2 to 3 brushes that they use, and then they have like a huge collection of brushes, and that's just for like texture, and those aren't usually like what they use for everything. Like I have like a huge bunch of them, and that's just for like splattering different textures around. What the heck is that? But they're not actually like something you're supposed to use for like most of your drawing. Then I have the soft brush. The airbrush is maybe like one of the most useful tools in digital art, like period, because this is just like the perfect like soft brush to get like big shadows, get like glow. Soft brush is definitely POC. This is just like a huge fill brush whenever I'm just like trying to separate out huge chunks. So like this is my perfect fill brush where I'm trying to separate out sections of the clothes, and I need a hard edge to it. Like I need to make sure like this section is coat, this section is shirt. This is I don't know what this is. I don't know why I have this brush. I mean, it's nice, but I don't use it for anything. I guess it's just there. Yeah, sometimes I use textures. Like I really love this chalk brush that I have. I think this one's even default in Krita. Like this is just one of the ones that come in Krita on its own. But I love like just like the little bit of like pixel like trashy texture that it has at the edge, and that's really fun for blending, adding texture to stuff. Yeah, especially when it comes to like if you lightly do it, then lightly do it again, then lightly do it again. Like it can add like different values of the same color. So you got a lot of different options on how to like fill in things with a just like a simple chalk brush. This one I like for big bold words. So I do this for my notepad whenever I'm writing notes for myself to remember later. Let me erase all this. Yeah, it's good for blocking out shapes, getting texture. This is then I have like this one. This one's more of a silly brush. Second, hold on. There you go. This is more of like a silly brush, but it also does like help with like hair textures whenever you want like a very solid shape for the hair. Same with this one. This one's a little bit better for hair because you can actually get like strands that blend together a bit. And then there's also transparency to it, so you can get like lines that kind of cut off. Yeah, like it's good to get. I've seen a lot of artists. They don't really use texture brushes for the texture themselves, but just having like a little bit of chaos to like the skin tone creates a lot of good. It creates a good place to work from. This one I also use for hair as well. It's like very streaky, but it's also a little bit more solid. Like this has a lot of transparency. This one's a little bit more solid. Like it still has like maybe a little bit of transparency towards the end, but it's mostly like a hard texture. This one's very similar to the other ones. Slick. This one's a brand new one that I just got, and it's even more like textured than all the other ones. Like there's a lot of lines going on here. So that's a really good one for flowy shapes. This is just a dirty brush. Again, just more for texture. This one I like because it has like a very rough texture, like a very like almost canvas-like texture. And then watercolors, I always like to have a little bit of like watercolors, especially for backgrounds. This is really great for like getting a little bit of like texture for your background. Although it doesn't work whenever the brush gets too big. So you have to kind of know how to use it or be ready to wait a little while. Same with this one, just like a bunch of different watercolor textures, so it's not all like the same feel. Some splats, some good old splats. We like splats here. Also good just to have like a little bit of texture and then like a few other sprays, so like you can mix up the kind of spray textures. Almost done. Then just a few blending ones. Blending, smudging. This is the newest one. I just have found like a really simple stippling pen. So you're supposed to use it for like filling in sections really quickly, so you can have like a stipple texture. Without having to do all the work of, you know, dot, 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 dot. You can kind of fill it in. It's a little messy, but it does give like the effect that you want. Anyways, and that's all my brushes. But mainly it's just like 4 of them that I use. The other ones are for texture whenever it comes to like rendering. Hello, let me undo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Too far back. Yeah, yeah, I think Photoshop has like a very simple way to like customize your brushes, but Crit is a little different. You can like create custom brushes and all that, but it's not like flexible in the exact same way. Because I remember you could like change the angle of the brush while you're selecting the brush. Like I think you just like moused over it and it would pull up like a little window. Not on Krita, but it wasn't like a functionality that I use a lot. I didn't get that comfortable with it in the first place. But that was just like one like little thing that you could do and change it on the fly that I remember. Anyways, let me get back to actually filling this in, because we're getting close on time. All right, so let's lock this alpha. I customize my brushes a lot with Shop. Yeah, nah, it's not something I ever played around with, but I could imagine that it was like very useful. And real quick, before I do anything, I also remember this is on the wrong layer. Lisa caught it early. I also remember seeing like a lot of great art that I've seen recently use linear dodge, and then they use like a really bright color to like shine on it. Maybe I need like a darker color for it to stand out. Okay. Hang on, I see. So use this as like a flesh tone, go up, linear dodge. What is it, like just like a bright yellow? It's not what I wanted. Let me get like a streaky brush. Bigger. Whoa, too big. Yeah, I've never used it before, but I see people who like use it very well, and it's really impressive. Okay, back to this. Right now I just need to focus on getting like the base colors for everything. Yeah, I think we can actually probably leave that there too, because then everything's gonna go over. So for the hair, I was thinking maybe like a cold color. Yeah, that. It's like tracing, but it's not cheating. Very. You reminded me of one of the Devil May Cry characters. I could never be someone more proud. I don't remember if I wanted him to have white hair, but that is what he has now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Okay, so that's the hair. Okay, how are we gonna do the... You go with that more like auburn, crimson color. I didn't really plan out how I wanted the rest of the outfit to look. Go with this. I'm gonna use this for the shorts. Yeah, I think that's a good, nice, like dark color. Yeah, Then for the undershirt, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's go with this color. Maybe this red. Oh, that's right. I just remembered. You need to go up. Bop, beep, 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 bop, boop. There we go. There we go. Interesting. Wee. Yeah, let's get the jacket next. The jacket, I'm going to start with like a really deep blue color because the shirt, the one that I'm going with, it has this like really like a weird rough texture, like almost like paint chips. I don't think that's what it is, but I want to get like that effect by like starting with like the blue undertone and then like adding the white beige color. But first we go with like a dark blue. Maybe even more purple. Like a navy. Dark. That feels right. That feels like the one. Is this line art on multiply? Oh, hold on. There you go. The group has to be a multiplier, or else it will just ignore that. Let me remove the red undershirt because I think it makes it hard to see the jacket. Let me remove the line art too. To make it hard to see if I go over the line. Tim, bro. Turn back on the shirt. Bop. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's just play around with that for a bit. Make that the base. Make this pass through. Add another layer. Pop. This will pass through. I'm gonna add like the beigey color for the jack. Is it beige? No, it's way more yellow, so more like a khaki. See if we can just play around with getting a similar texture. I'm gonna use a soft brush to get it in some more tones to it. Maybe like a little pinkiness. And a little bit more fun to it. Maybe a little bit more of a bluish down tone. No, that's green. And yeah, this one right here. This like rosier blue. Oh, that's perfect. Just add a little bit more like variety and play to it. Then I'm gonna see if I can do like a texture, maybe one of these right here, and just try to like speckle it as almost like an eraser. Let's do it like this a little bit, just a little bit. You add just like a little bit of the hashing. Then we're gonna have like more of it towards the edges of like the clothes. Like it is in the picture. I don't have it up for some reason. I keep turning it back off. Yeah, we can have like this a little bit more towards the edges where the shirt meets the seams. That's the word I'm looking for. No, it needs to be an eraser. Not that. Not that. No. That's a freaky brush. Jesus. That gives me nightmares. Oh my god. Something a little splotchy. Let's go back to this one. Maybe paint and smudge is what I'm looking for. Too blurry. I have no idea how to use this brush. Oh, and this one might be the one I've been looking. Okay. Okay. I think we're... Well, hold on. Let me also do the face, and then we'll leave it. I just wanted a little bit of texture on the shirt. We'll get back to that on another stream, though. Let's just do the face, and we'll leave it. Different color. There we go. Feels like a good tone. I'm gonna do the teeth the same color. Okay. Then we're gonna make those two into two separate groups so we can get the different sections of the mouth and different sections of the eyes. I meant, whoops. These are eyes. I think we're gonna go with like this orange color that I was using for the eyes, like the base layer of the eyes at least. And then we're gonna like work our way into that. Let me use a hard brush first. Nope, that's an eraser. Don't think I didn't notice you little... There we go. And then the teeth. It's on here. A little bit of pink for the gums. And something like more of like a flesh tone pink. Like a very neutral pink. It's too bright. Something like way less saturated. Yeah, there we go. That's the color. All right, now I'm done, but just to have a little fun before I go. Just to get a little feel. I'm gonna use a little bit of airbrush. Pa-pa. Oh. There we go. Then we can dial that down. There we go. That's what we got so far. I know I said I was done, but just one second. Stop yelling at me. Let's grab this green color. Pop. Pop. I said grab the green color. There we go. And just a little light dusting. I just want to add a little bit of it to it. Just a little bit. That's all we need. A little bit of the green. Oh yeah, he's looking good. He's looking real good. I'm liking it. This is good. This is a good start. So now, let's see, that's 2 streams. So that means I got 2 more in order to finish everything up. Maybe 3. We'll see. But right now, I am very happy with what we got. So next stream, we're just going to be doing a lot more rendering. We just need to trim out a few more sections. So the shoes I didn't even get to. The patch on his arm, and that should pretty much be it as far as that. And then we can go into like the more complex rendering, so like getting all the values in the hair, the face. We can get like the blush a little bit more accurately. You saw me just do that a minute ago. And then getting the texture on the jacket. The jacket is probably going to be tough because I thought I was going to have like, I have like 100 different textures for the brush. Sorry, 100 different brushes for textures. And it doesn't seem like any of them are exactly what I need. So I might have to go in and like individually scratch up all the sections, which could take some time. But we'll get to it. Everything will be settled. I trust in myself because I'm insanely good at doing art. I'm just playing around. Don't get too mad. Anyways. So yeah, let me go ahead and sign off. Thank you for being here today. Even if it was only here for a few minutes, or if you were just catching the stream on the archive that goes up on my YouTube channel, I appreciate anybody spending even just a moment with me. It makes me feel like my art's, worth sharing with the world. Like I like getting people's opinions and sharing my art and talking and just hanging out for a bit. But let me go ahead and plug in my Instagram. My Instagram is same name as my Twitch channel, I think. Raul A. Pena _art. I don't know if that's still my Twitch actually. But anyways, check that out. My Instagram, it usually is where I'm the most up to date. It's where I'm the most active, although I'm not even that active. I at least try to post once a week, maybe once every other week, depending on how much art I actually get done. D&D's been really distracting me of late, but it's fun. Don't make me give up D&D. D&D's too fun. Anyways, besides my Instagram, make sure to check out my YouTube channel. That's usually where I post all these archives. So let me go ahead and explain. I have 2 YouTube channels. So one of them is a full stream archive, very simple, just a full archive, a full stream. The entire stream that I do on this channel, I just upload directly onto my YouTube, so you know I can have the history. And then I also have a second channel that is my time-lapse channel, which is where I take all my streams and cramp them down into 5-minute chunks. So if you don't have all the time to sit there and chill out for like the whole 2 to 3 to 4 hours, you can just watch the time lapse, which goes up maybe a week later, and you know just see my progress from that week. And then whenever everything's done, I put everything into what is called a supercut. So it's all my time lapses of a certain piece combined together to make a 10 to 15 minute time lapse. So you get to see the very first little sketches that I do all the way to the very end when I put on the polish. Those are very fun. I think I just posted one like a week or 2 ago for the piece that came before this. So go ahead and check that out. I love working on those. They make me look way more talented than I really am. I get to cut out all the bits where I'm just screwing around doing nonsense. Make sure to also check if you'd like my DeviantArt. I have a DeviantArt. I've been using DeviantArt for like 10, 13 years, something like that. Maybe not 10 years, maybe like 8 or 9, but still. I've been using it for a while. Yeah, I like using it to get a bunch of references and get a lot of different art styles that I can, be inspired from. So yeah, I'm pretty active on there. I always like to check out the people that I'm following. And you can see some of my old artwork, and sometimes I'll post things there that I don't feel like posting to my Instagram. Maybe I don't think they're good enough, or maybe they just don't fit, or maybe I don't think like there's an audience for that. But anyways, check out my DeviantArt, YouTube, Instagram. Look down below. I do have a commission chart down there. I am going to be changing it very soon, which I mentioned at the start of the stream. So if you have an idea of a character that you want me to draw for you, like an RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, Cyberpunk, anything like that, or if you just want me to draw a character from your favorite anime, comic book, just go ahead and take a look down there. That gives you an idea. But like I said, since it's going to be changing soon, just send me an email and we can talk about pricing. Somewhere around like the $20 to $40 to $60 range, somewhere around those sections, depending on how complex the piece is going to be. If it's just a character, we'll get all that figured out. But if you don't want to spend the time to get a commission done, and if you just want to add a little bit to the stream, I do have a donation link down below, my PayPal. So if you just want to drop a few dollars, it gives me a little bit more incentive to spend more time here. Maybe improve the stream quality. Am I even on camera? Okay, yeah, I'm on camera. Good. Yeah, improve my stream quality, and it just lets me know that I have an audience here, and it makes me feel like my time is being valued. It makes me feel, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like it's not just people supporting me just because they like me. It's also because they actually enjoy the work and are willing to put money to it. I don't know. Maybe that's just capitalism. But anyways, that's gonna be it. Thank you. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you guys have a good night. Bye bye.